1700, spring 2016, Shawnee State University. My name is Doug Darbro. What the purpose of this video is for the class is to go over the syllabus, talk about the class expectations, and just give you kind of instructions on how to navigate the class. We have two things going on here. We have you're going to need to get access to MyMathLab, which is the online course management system that I use, and of course you're going to have to be able to navigate Blackboard. So I'm going to demonstrate all that in this video. Guys, shouldn't take too long. Math 1700. We this semester offering it totally online. I looked at my success rates for teaching Math 1700 previously, and I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw that the success rates for the online sections is actually higher than when I teach it in the classroom. And I actually had a lot of luck teaching this class in the classroom. I think the reason is, well, I really don't know the reason if I'm going to be completely honest with you, but I think the reason is there's stuff that we do in this class that fits perfectly for an online lectures, because it allows students to rewind and pause and watch videos on their own time. So it's going to be part of this video, just telling you a little bit about what's going on. So guys, my name is Doug Darbro. My office is in 113 Administration Building. My office hours are provided there. My phone number and my email. Software requirements. This is kind of tongue-in-cheek. Kind of a duh moment, but guys, this is an online course. Therefore, you are required to have regular access to a computer and reliable internet service. If you don't have these things, then you should not be taking an online course. I had a student in the fall semester contact me around week 13 or 14, and she says, I can't access the videos because I don't have a computer. And I'm like, was your computer broken? And she said, no, I've never had one. I'm sitting there thinking, why did you take an online course? That's just not very smart. Guys, if you don't have a computer, I guess you can go to the library. You're going to have to go consistently, because we're going to have quite a few videos that you have to watch per week. You've got homework assignments that are posted online that you have to submit every week. I'll talk about that later. But it's really kind of silly for you to think about taking an online course if you don't have regular access to a computer, if you don't have reliable and regular access to internet, and if you're not fairly technically savvy. If you struggle with sending and receiving emails, then you should not be taking an online course. But for those of you that you're self-disciplined. This way of presenting a course has a lot of conveniences. So guys, the catalog description, course objectives. I'm not going to get into all that. That just tells you what you're going to learn in the class. I will tell you, I wrote this course back, I think in, gosh, I'm going to date myself here, but I think it was 1997 or 1998. I actually created this course. I've taught it a lot of times. I think it's one of the coolest courses that we teach at Shawnee State. The reason is there's so much of the material that is directly applicable to your lives. Sometimes you take a college algebra course and you think, well, where am I ever going to use this stuff? And the honest answer is probably, unless you're going to teach mathematics, probably never. But I can't say that about this class. There's a chunk of this class, I'm going to say about 30, 35, 40% of it that will be directly applicable to your life. Things like you're going to learn in this class how to calculate payments. Say you want to buy a house for $250,000, you get an interest rate of 3.2%. We're going to talk about things like first of all, how much would the monthly payment be? Secondly, how much of the first month's payment goes toward reducing debt, and how much of it goes toward interest. How much interest would you pay over the life of the loan? How much interest would you save if you added $100 additional to your payment? So we're going to talk about things that, again, are directly applicable to your lives. Now, this part right here is one of the most important things that we do the first day, and that's talk about the textbook and the online course management system. I see these as inseparable. Now, when I say that the textbook is not required, what I mean by that is you don't have to go buy a physical copy of this textbook by Barnett, Ziegler, and Bilene. I think is the way that that name is pronounced. But you do have to have access to the online course management system that includes the ebook for this particular text. Now, if you just got a lot of extra money laying around and you want to go buy the textbook that has the code to MyMathLab, hey, go right ahead and do it. Good for you. But most people don't. So I'm going to show you ways that you can actually get the online course management system with this textbook in ebook format and save yourself a lot of money. So you got two choices. Go directly to MyMathLab and purchase, and I'm going to demonstrate that in just a second. There's my course code. There's 14-day trial course access that you have. So there's no reason not to get your first assignment in, because you get 14 days free. And I'll call you out on it. If you say, well, Dr. Darbro, I don't have the money to buy MyMathLab, so I couldn't get the first assignment in. And whoa, that makes no sense. You got 14 days free. So it makes no sense whatsoever for you not to get really the first two assignments in. And if you do it correctly, you could get the first three assignments in 14 days. So guys, again, I'll call you out on it. If you say I didn't get my assignment in because I didn't have the money to buy MyMathLab because I'm waiting on my student loans or whatever it is, I'm going to call you out on it because you do have. You don't need money to get the 14-day trial access option. Okay? Now, let me show you what MyMathLab is all about. If I come up here to, I tell you what, let me get out of this and let me show you what it's going to look like from the beginning. If I go, just type in mymathlab.com, I'm going to go to this page. What you're going to want to do first of all is you're going to want to set in as a student. So you're going to click student, and it's going to ask, do you have these three things? You need an email account. Guys, this email account does not have to be your Shawnee account. It can be a Gmail, it can be a Yahoo, whatever. It doesn't have to be shawnee.edu. Well, you guys use mymail.shawnee.edu, but it doesn't have to be that. You need your course ID. You've got that. It's on the syllabus. I just showed that to you. And you need either an access code, which you're going to get if you go buy the textbook and the code from the bookstore, or you need a credit card if you intend to purchase the access code from MyMathLab. The latter is a lot cheaper, but if you've got student loans, I think you're pretty much have your hands tied that you're going to have to use the access code. So now you can go, okay, register now. And I'm not going to go through this, but I will show you the first part of it. You're going to type in Darbro 359115. So 35915. And you're going to create a Pearson account. So you see right over here, MATH1700, Spring 2016, Doug Darbro, so you're in the right spot, okay? So you're going to come to create, you're going to create an account. Now I'm not going to go through this, and I'm going to show you why. If you go to Shawnee State University's site and go to Blackboard, you're going to see there's a MATH1700 site that we're going to use. First thing you're going to notice on the home page is there's a hello. If you signed up for the class earlier, you received this in an email. If not, you're seeing it now, okay? The next thing that you're going to need to do is go to content. Now what's going to happen here is you're going to have a folder for each week. For example, let me go ahead and make a content folder for this. So this is going to be week 1, January 11th. So week 0 is just getting started stuff. And that's where actually the link to this video that I'm creating right now, where it'll be stored. Week 1 will be the links to the videos that you need to watch the first week. First week's a little complicated. I'm going to post less videos in week 1 because we have this week 0 stuff. Okay, so there's the class syllabus. And then I have given a picture of how you need to go through the registration process. So I'm not going to demonstrate it back over here because I've given this on Blackboard. Now, by the time you see this, there's going to be a video here, introduction, class syllabus, and class expectations, and that's what I'm actually creating right now. But it's not up yet because, obvious reasons, I'm creating it, okay? So, guys, that's what you're going to follow right here. You're going to follow these instructions and directions when you get to create, okay? So pretty easy stuff if you're just able to follow instructions, okay? Now, once you get your your account set up, and let me show you what it's going to kind of look like. So you're going to sign in once you get your account set up. Now, I set up an account. My username isn't my email account. I used ddarbro@shawnee.edu, but I didn't want to type all the .edu stuff, so my username is just ddarbro@shawnee. And then I have my password, so I'll sign in. Now, you're not going to see all this stuff because you're not a professor, but you will see a link to Math1700 Spring 2016. I just close it down. And primarily, you know, when you log on here, there's really just going to be 2 things that you're going to need, actually potentially 3 things. One would be access to the ebook, but I tell you, if you'll just watch my videos, you're not even going to need to read the book. I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know, but you're typically going to go to homework. And you can see that there's already a homework assignment that's been posted. If you click it, there's 5 questions. Let's work on question number 1. It's a little slow because I'm doing a lot of stuff on the computer. Here's a problem that you will work, that I will have worked one exactly like this in the videos. So you put your answer in here. Let's say we think the answer is 340. I don't know. It's not. I can check the answer. It'll tell me that's not correct. It should have been correct because I just made up 340. But if you get it correct, it'll come up and tell you you're correct and so on and so forth. So you'll save your answer and you'll go to question number 2. Guys, you have no limit on the number of times that you can complete each problem. So keep working on it until you get it correct. All right, you got all this stuff over here. Help me solve it. That's okay. Sometimes I teach things in the videos differently than the way that they will help you solve the problem. I think I teach it easier, more straightforward. It'll show you, view an example. Problem there again, the way they show the example may not correspond with the way that I teach it. For example, linear programming, calculating a payment. If you look at an example, it's going to show you how to use the formula. I'm going to show you how to do it much, much, much easier. You can click textbook. It'll take you directly to the part of the textbook that covers this content. Ask My Instructor is kind of a cool thing. You can click Ask My Instructor. It's going to send me an email. Type your question. Hey, Darbro, I don't understand question 4. And if you send me something that vague, I'm going to type back and say, well, what don't you understand? I'm going to need more details. So I don't understand number 4. I'm doing this. It's not working. Click send, and that's the way you and I will stay in touch on particular problems. Okay? Guys, I check my email a lot. I'm an email junkie, so you can stay in touch with me via email. But we'll get into some other options here in just a second. All right, let's get back to the syllabus. So a text is not required. If you feel better having a physical textbook, then go for it. But there's a cheaper way by just getting the online course management system, access to it with the ebook. Guys, graphing calculator is required. Some students sometimes tell me, well, that's one of the hardest things about the class is learning to use the calculator. Trust me, the hardest thing about the class would be doing it without the calculator. Let me show you some stuff I'm going to do. There is this really cool function on the TI 8384 calculators. If you go to App, go to Finance, go to TVM Solver, this really cool option that we're going to learn to use. For example, let's say you want to buy a house and you want to finance this over 20 years and make monthly payments. Well, I'm going to teach you everything you're going to need to know about putting in, let's say you're getting 3.2%. Let's say you want to buy a $125,000 house and you want to calculate the payment. Well, guys, your payment would be $705. I'm going to teach you far more about using this function TVM Solver to make to make investments, to pay things off, buy boats, buy cars, buy houses. What would happen if you wanted to pay $800 a month instead of $705? How much would you reduce the amount that you're going to pay the bank or the mortgage company? We're going to talk about those things. Guys, if you can't afford the TI 84 or 83 calculator, then this may not be the semester. This may be the semester that you need to put off taking Math 1700. Guys, the calculator is really important in this class. ADA statement. Guys, let me know if you are entitled to any accommodations through ADA. Just bring your list of accommodations by to me or scan it to me. I will do everything in my power to make sure that those accommodations that you are entitled to by law are provided to you. One thing to keep in mind, though, and this is really totally up to you, if you have like a testing accommodation, maybe a quiet environment or extended test time, you feel free to test in the Student Success Center if that's where you feel most comfortable. I'll bring the test to you. But keep in mind, if you're testing there and you encounter something with your calculator or have questions about a test, I'm not going to be around to answer those. So, that's something you're going to have to think about for yourself. And really the answer to that question is something that I can't make. You know what you need. So guys, again, let me know what you need and I'll do my best to give you the accommodations you're entitled to. All right, on-campus sessions, guys. There are 2 mandatory on-campus sessions. March 2nd, when you take your midterm from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Math 1700 midterm is going to take you about an hour. So if you show up at 6:50, I had a student actually do that last semester, you're not going to have time to finish it. I'm leaving at 7 o'clock. I am going to sit there for 5 total hours. When it comes 7 o'clock, I'm going to be busting at the seams to get out of there. You've got 5 hours. If you think you're going to need longer, we'll show up earlier. You got 2 to 7, 7:01, I'm out of there, okay? May 4th, same thing. You'll take your final exam on campus. All exams must be taken on campus or in a testing center. Now, let me address that. Let's say that you are a student who lives in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland's a long way from Portsmouth, Ohio. You're taking this class because you want to take it through Shawnee State. We have cheaper tuition. I hear that the professor for finite mathematics is really cool. Oh, sorry about that. That would be me. You just want to take your this class through Shawnee State and with me, but you don't want to drive to campus to take the test. It makes total sense to me. What you have to do is you have to make arrangements through a testing center in Cleveland to take your test. Now, guys, they're going to charge you a fee, but it's probably going to be a lot cheaper, definitely more convenient than to drive to the testing center, pay them $50, than it is to drive 5 or 6 hours to Portsmouth to take your exam on March 2nd and May 4th. Guys, what I ask of you, if you're going to take your test in a testing center, give me about a week ahead so I can make arrangements with them, get the test to them for you to take, okay? Guys, tutoring, you have options of coming and seeing me during office hours. If you're not going to be on campus, we can schedule a Google Hangout session or an Adobe Connect session. And you can go to the MathLab if you're on campus. You can also go to one of my graduate assistants, Melissa or Allison. They're really good. I'll provide their hours probably around week 2. I don't know them yet, or I would give them to you today. They are tutors that can really help you in Math1700. All right, guys, calculating your final grade, 3 components. I used to require students to do an online, what's called an online notebook. I'm not requiring that this semester. The reason I did it before is I wanted some sort of accountability on students watching the videos. But I've determined that the accountability is actually built in. If you don't watch the videos, you have no prayer of passing this class. So there's really no need to give a grade for watching the videos, because if you don't do it, you're not going to pass anyway. Exam number 1, March 2nd, is 40% of your final grade. Final exam, May 4th, 40%. And the online assignments that you do on MyMathLab, which also includes quizzes and different kind of goofy things that I do, are 20%. For example, you can expect at probably 5, 6, 7 random spots in the videos this semester, I will start playing like a song, and I'll say, okay, you have 10 days to send me an email and tell me the name of the song. So little things are going to be built into these these videos. So if you're watching them like you need to, and it's required, you're going to send me that, you're going to get extra credit. All of that stuff will be kept on MyMathLab. All right, guys, assignments. There's no limit on the number of times you can attempt the problem. Assignments that are not submitted by the due date but submitted within a week late are reduced by 50%. Assignments that are submitted later than 1 week are not, you're not permitted to submit those. Assignment due dates, guys. Assignment number 1, put this on your to-do list. This is really cool. Go to Blackboard, go to discussions, introduce yourself. I'm getting ready to show you how to do that. You get 100 points out of 100 points just by introducing yourself on Blackboard. If you'll come to my office and physically introduce yourself, you get an extra 20 points. So guys, you could start out finite mathematics with 120 out of 100 points just by doing these simple things. Now, let me show you how to do this on Blackboard. So you go to Blackboard, you go over here to discussions, and you'll see that I have introductions. Please introduce yourself to the class and me. A few items you may include are hometown major and so on and so forth. And I come down and tell you that this is worth 100 points. Guys, to post your introduction, click Introductions. Come up here and say Create a Thread. In the subject, put your name, which isn't Doug Darbro. And then come in and say, hey, I'm Doug Darbro. I'm from yada yada. And then come down and hit Submit. And you will get the easiest 100 points that you have ever received. So Chelsea, Trisha, Jerison, I think I got that correctly, and Abby, good for you. These are probably A students because they're taking the initiative to do things without me telling them to do it. All right, so I'm going to delete mine. I may go in later and introduce myself, but not right now. All right, so guys, very easy, 100 points. And Chelsea, Trisha, Jerison, Abby, and everyone else come by and see me in my office. You get 20 extra points. Assignment number 2, it's due January 19th, so it's due Tuesday of the second week, which will cover the content of the videos that we cover for the first week, is due at 11:45 on Tuesday. Guys, every Tuesday at 11:45 p.m., you will have an assignment due unless otherwise announced. You will have a 100-point assignment. So don't write me an email, don't call me, don't stop by the office and say, Dr. Darber, I didn't know we had an assignment due this week. You have an assignment due every single week, Tuesday at 11:45 p.m., unless otherwise announced. Okay? All right, guys, class policy is pretty simple. Cell phones are not permitted while you test. If you miss an examination, documentation is required. And if you need to take a midterm and or final exam off campus, you need to make arrangements about a week to 10 days before the exam is scheduled. Guys got a busy in terms of content. See, the first week's pretty relaxed. Probably just one video. It'll be posted under week number 1. So just click the link. It'll take you directly to YouTube, to that video. Watch it. Go to MyMathLab. Next Tuesday, submit your first assignment, and then it starts over. All right? So guys, that's really all I've got. The things that are really important the first week is to make sure that you know how to get on Blackboard, access the videos, that you can get on MyMathLab and access the assignments, and also do an honest self-assessment. Is an online course good for you? Because it's not good for everyone. For those of you that it's that are kind of self-disciplined, you can stay on schedule, you can stay on track. And let me show you something while I'm at it. If you go to Blackboard under Content, Week 0, you will, well, I take that back. There will be a video up. I haven't posted it yet. It'll be video number 2. Should you take an online course? About 15 minutes. I cite some research. Just watch that and see if this is for you. Because, guys, the last thing I want you to do is to sign up for a class you're not prepared for. If you're not prepared for the discipline it takes to take an online course, if you're not organized enough, if you're not willing to watch the videos, if you're not willing to stay on track each week, then you clearly need to go drop the class as soon as possible. All right? Guys, that's all I got. Take care.